All right, hey Chipola Nation, we're here with brand new head coach Brendan Foley of the Chipola Indians men's basketball team. Coach, how's your summer going?
It's been busy. It's
Busy?
been busy,
All right,
but in a good way.
good. Now, have you been home?
I have not.
You've not been home? Oh
No,
my
no
gosh!
breaks.
Oh my goodness! Well,
It's been nonstop.
mom and dad need to see you.
I know.
Absolutely.
They gotta come see some
Yeah,
games.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Now, you have been to your new wife's home,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, because
Had to
I know
move.
you went up there and got some
Quick
some
trip.
stuff.
Yeah, I had to fly up there Friday and load a U-Haul and drive it 16 hours.
Good gracious. Okay.
And then move in.
And y'all are celebrating your first anniversary.
Just did.
Just
yeah.
did.
Yep.
Fantastic, fantastic. Coach, I know you've had a busy summer. You've pretty much fleshed out your whole roster. I think you got one scholarship left, right?
Yep.
What kind of player are you looking for that spot?
I'm not picky. Best available.
Okay.
Perfect world if another 6'10" monster walked in here. I'd
you
sign him
wouldn't
up
turn him
quick.
down?
Yeah,
Okay.
but we all know that they don't grow on trees. So
Yeah.
if not, we'll save it for Christmas. In the past, we've brought kids in January, and that's helped and been able to graduate them and get them out of here with 3 years and graduate them in a year and a half.
Super. Now we're taping this on August 15th. Classes start Monday, August 20th. So are most of your players coming in over the weekend?
They'll be here this weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we move in. A lot of them have already been here. We had 8 guys in summer school, so they're accustomed to class, the dorms,
Okay.
everything.
All right.
So we'll have a few new guys that are coming from across the pond, one from France.
Wow.
And then a couple other new guys that haven't set foot on campus yet. So we'll have a couple new faces, but
Good.
most returners.
And the dorm's looking good, at least from the outside. I
Yeah.
don't ever go in the rooms, but I think that's a real benefit to
Definitely.
our athletic
Definitely.
programs because it's a good safe place and it's clean and it's been renovated recently. So
Right.
I think we're very proud of that.
Mhm.
Coach, we're always interested in learning a little more about you.
Yeah.
You know, you've been here a couple years, but you've been in an assistant's role and we want to get to know you a little more, as the head coach. So I just got a couple of questions that I want to ask you. And, we're always talking about the student athlete. So I want to ask you, what kind of expectations do you have from your players from an academic standpoint? What do you expect from them in the classroom?
I've set the bar pretty high, and that's one thing that I pride ourselves on in this program. From the time I set foot here, we've had, I think, close to 100% graduation rate. I think we've graduated everybody, which speaks volumes. I don't think everyone can say that. And the requirements to go Division I as a non-qualifier, meeting that 2.5 grade point average, we're graduating our kids with around a 3.0.
Wow, that's great.
So when I can go and tell a young man's mom and dad that I'm going to graduate you as long as you do what you're supposed to do and get you a certificate and a diploma, that's something that means something to me, knowing that whenever the ball stops bouncing, they at least have 1 degree to fall back on.
Yeah,
So that's very important to me. And that's something that's one of my goals, to graduate all my guys.
Right. Now, what kind of things do we have in place to help a student athlete succeed in the classroom?
I think it starts with obviously our professors. Our kids aren't just a number here. Our professors know our kids, and that's a good thing and a bad thing. If they're not in class, then I'm going to get a text message. But just the family atmosphere here, where I can't reiterate enough. Like our kids are not a number. They're a student athlete here, and the teachers know them, and they meet with them after class if they need it. They'll meet with them in the ACE lab, which kind of ties into the next part, is the ACE lab.
Right.
Just having a tutoring center on campus where they have access to tutors, that's unique. Not every junior college has that, and I think that's another reason why Chipola's been successful academically as a whole, winning the gold award back-to-back years.
Right.
That's a luxury for us.
That ACE lab is absolutely fantastic because a student can go in there. They can find someone who looks just like them, who has taken the course before, who's passed it, and they can get help from a fellow student. And I know a lot of times students are a little nervous about approaching a professor, but to be able to work with another student, I think is just golden.
Yeah, I agree, and I think Miss Bonnie and Charity do a great job making them feel welcome.
Yeah.
And making them feel at home.
Right.
And it's a place where they can go and feel at bay, where they're going to get unlimited support and help.
Right. moving past academics and just talking about what kind of expectations do you have for your student athletes as far as behavior goes, because they do, they work hard, they go to class, but they're in the dorm and there's idle time
Right.
here. So what kind of expectations do you have for them as far as how they behave in this community?
Again, it's no different. They're representing something bigger than themselves. They're representing Chipola on the court, in the classroom, in the community, and I kind of talked about that in the press conference. They're different than the average student. When they go to Walmart or when they go to Zaxby's, people know who they are.
They kind of stand
All right.
out
So
when you're 6'8". Yeah.
They're held to a higher standard, higher regard. It's a privilege,
Uh-huh.
and they need to embrace that. And they're going to be held to a higher standard. And we're not going to put up with nonsense off the court. It's a privilege to be here. It's a privilege to put on the Chipola jersey and compete in front of the fans here. So, we're going to hold them to a high standard.
Okay. You mentioned community. We are so lucky here at Chipola. We have the Chipola Appreciation Club, which Milt Johnson started, my gosh, probably in the 60s or 70s. And Robert Tremmel would say it's the best booster club, in the country. And I think there's some good arguments for that they really do support our programs. But what do you think the role of a booster club is in a successful athletic program?
Oh, I think it's a key ingredient. I mean, I don't think we could be as successful as we are without them. They provide unconditional support. They make this place look immaculate.
Right.
Just last year when we needed a new shooting machine, it was replaced. Money was raised by the Booster Club. When we go to nationals, other teams got a bus to Kansas or Texas, we fly.
Right.
And that's all stuff that our Booster Club, our appreciation clubs raise the money to do.
Okay.
And I talk to people in that club every day. They call about recruits or who we got coming in or when can we come watch practice.
Right.
So the passion that they have is a driving force behind all our athletic programs, and we couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And if you're an alumnus of Chipola, alumni of Chipola, or if you're just somebody who loves sports, what are some ways that you can get involved in supporting this program?
I think the best way is joining the appreciation club. You can get on. There's different level memberships, but just supporting each program. It goes beyond measurable. It's huge for each program.
Right.
Anything and everything that we can do. We're a small college.
Yeah.
So any support that we get, the more the better for us.
Right.
And a lot of these appreciation club members, played sports at Chipola, so they've been here, they've lived it, and they just want to see us be successful.
Right.
They're a huge part of that.
Yeah. And if you're a basketball fan, if you're a sports fan, the appreciation club membership is a great bargain. I mean, it's $250.
Yep.
You get 4 tickets to all the games, and you get refreshments. And I don't know how you could. And how many games will we play in the Milt this year? Probably a dozen, 15.
I think
or
it's
something.
close to 17.
17 games. So
It's-
you do the math on that, and it's probably way cheaper than just walking up and buying a ticket.
Yeah.
So that is something we encourage all fans in the community to get involved in the Appreciation Club, and then we have corporate level. If you wanna have your name in front of all of our fans, there are different ways that you can get involved on a corporate sponsorship. So anyway, great stuff. Coach, want to get a little personal. If you had to describe yourself, you are Coach Brendan Foley. You're our new coach. We think you're fantastic. But what one word or phrase do you want people to associate with your name when they think of Coach Brendan Foley?
Starting with, I guess, former players, current players. Hopefully, I made a difference. And we talked about getting them an education.
Right.
They're student athletes. That's first and foremost.
Uh-huh.
But hopefully, when it's all said and done, they can look back and that I made a difference and got them where they needed to go and help them.
Right.
And help them grow as basketball players, as young men.
Right.
Just the total picture.
Right.
It's more than just graduating them and getting them to the next school. It's helping them develop and preparing them for the next stage in life for them. And that's hopefully my goal, what I can do for them.
Yeah. I heard Milt Johnson say one time, people always say it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, but Coach Johnson said, yeah, but they do have that scoreboard on the
Yeah.
wall. So, the score is important.
Right.
Winning is important, but I think the perspective that you're talking about, that if you can get invested in a young person's life and you can help them become a better person and
Right.
successful all around, don't you think that's going to lead to success on the court as well?
I do. I think when you're doing all that, I think everything else falls into place.
Yeah.
I think it's only natural, but I think that's the foundation you got to build, and then everything else kind of takes care of itself.
Right. Okay. Coach, we're halfway through August.
Yep.
How many days before fans can see an actual game here in the Milt?
Is it November 2nd, Friday, November 2nd?
I think
is
that's
the
right.
opening day.
So we've got
Second and
to
third.
wait all of October,
Yeah.
all of September, and 2 weeks in August. So we're looking at 30 and 60. Is that 75? Yeah, like 75 days.
Yeah.
Until first
Yeah.
tip.
We'll have a couple
Exciting.
preseason jamborees that
Okay.
we've always done.
And people can
Yeah.
come and
Yep.
check those. Now, do we promote those?
They'll be on our schedule.
Okay.
The first one is Sunday, October 7th, and that's over
Okay.
at Tallahassee Community
Okay.
College
Uh-huh.
at the Southeast Jamboree, and that's one of the premier jamborees. It's probably the top one in the South, the most
Wow.
recognizable one.
Okay.
So that's over at Tallahassee Community College, and then
Uh-huh.
the following weekend, the 13th, that Saturday, we're down in Orlando, which
Okay.
is a little bit more of traveling, but
Yeah.
the 7th is I know we've had appreciation guys come over and watch us over
Right.
there and
Yeah.
at TCC, so
Yeah.
we're
Great.
excited. We'll get cranked up here in about a week
Yeah.
once we get through all the orientations and physicals and
Uh-huh.
all that stuff and team meetings, and then
Yeah.
we'll get on the court and get things rolling and hopefully put a product on the floor that everyone's excited about.
Great. Well, Coach, we're glad you're here. We're very excited about the new season, and we wish you the best with your new players in the coming weeks.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.